What up, everybody? Happy New Year's, and we are doing a two-part special. We had an error with the first episode, so we kind of just jump into it. Technical difficulties, but it is what it is. So enjoy and stay safe.
And I know we talked about, anime watching anime in movie theaters. I forget what movie you were watching. I don't know if it was one of the
I watched
Your Name director, or I don't know.
I watched Your Name at AX. I watched
I know we
was
talked
it
about
Garden of
Pod.
Words?
No, it was more recent than that. It was like post it was within the last 3 years. Post Your Name. So I don't know whatever.
Oh,
anime
Weathering
movie
with You. That's right. I watched Weathering with You, but not Suzume.
At Angelica, I think you said.
No, I think I watched it somewhere else because we couldn't get tickets that day. I think we watched at no, you're right. It was at Angelica. I remember now. But yeah, no.
Yeah, so yeah.
Go ahead.
So
You first.
no, I was saying how like I'm such a skeptic. I'm not sure if I would watch anime in movie theaters as a dub. Like I feel like I still need to watch like in subs. In the same way that like if I watch a foreign film, I would rather see it in the original language and just kind of like take the subtitles as is.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I'm not like fluent in the language, you know what I'm saying?
True. Yeah. And like, I think it's harder for Miyazaki films because they want like prestige actors in it rather than just regular voice actors who don't really understand. It's like, all right, we're just gonna get friggin' Robert Downey Jr. in this shit now. And like, oh shit, son. It'd be crazy. But yeah, no. But like, again, just to wrap up my thoughts on that, the movie was okay. I mean, I still enjoyed it. I thought it was a good movie. I shouldn't spoil anything because there are no trailers about that movie. So if you're gonna watch it, just watch it. It's a lot different from his. It kind of remind me of like Spirited Away for some odd reason, like a boy version of Spirited Away, but more personal. It's about grieving. That's it.
Okay.
It's about grieving.
Okay. I felt that way about, I think was it the Princess Kaguya one he did, or the studio did?
But that's based off like a Japanese tale.
I understand, but like it was like there was like visual components of it. I was just like, this doesn't feel like.
Oh, you're like, this is too
like
much
the
like
style
a picture book.
Yeah, the style didn't like fit the aesthetic as a Studio Ghibli
Very true.
film. So it just kind of like, it was jarring to like, oh shit, I didn't realize they're gonna not do this.
Yeah, very true. Very true. Yeah, to be honest, for the longest time, I didn't think it was a Ghibli film. Everyone's like, "Oh, this movie, Princess Kaguya, is really good." I was like, "Damn, this movie looks pretty cool. Like, it's really interesting for what it is." And someone's like, "It's a Ghibli film." I'm like, "That's a Ghibli film?" Like, you know what I mean? So it's like, oh, whoops.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like this is like, I understand the like, you can't really mess with the storyline and plot, even though that plot has been like, taken in other contexts and inspired different narratives. But for this, like for that movie as the Studio Ghibli, it was like, oh, why are we going to like ancient like Tokugawa type art? Like, what is this? Oh shit, this is not what I expected, bro.
Oh, dude, yeah. No, but it won like so many awards, right, or something like that. Like it was supposed to be like one of the best Ghibli films or whatever.
Oh
Like,
man,
just throwing it off.
let's see. It could be. I just know that Spirited Away was like everyone's like fucking favorite 20 plus years ago.
Jesus Christ. Like, I still think for me, it's Princess Mononoke. So one of the guys we went with, he's never seen
Princess Mononoke.
No, he's never seen a Ghibli film ever. So after the film, he's like, yeah, that was good. He's like, how does that compare to his other films? They're like, it's not his best one. He's like, that's a pretty good starting point for me then. I'm like, good. And I was like, I told him like, people like Spirited Away. Some people like Castle or whatever, Castle in the Sky or whatever that thing's called.
Howl's Moving Castle?
Howl's Moving Castle? Castle in the Sky. That's an 80s
That's a
song.
fucking. I was like, isn't that a rave song?
Oh yeah,
Or is it like in DDR?
It's a rap song. It's a Euro trance song. Yeah, that's right.
That shit wasn't a fucking initial D video.
Just kidding. Anyway, yeah. No. How's Moving Castle, Princess Mononoke, and what was another movie? That was it for me.
Spirited Away.
Nadia of the Blue or whatever that thing was called.
It's like Nazca of the Wind.
Yeah, something like that. Okay, I'm getting. Yeah, I'm not a Ghibli fan.
Was that the one with the planes?
Something like that. I think so. Yeah, that one was actually pretty good too. But I think Howl's Moving Castle is probably one of the better ones. Princess Mononoke and Howl's Moving Castle for me. Maybe I need to give Spirited Away another shot, dude. I should just watch all the Ghibli films on HBO Max before I cancel my subscription.
Well, like for this Ghibli look, like that's just like for me, I don't even know how it had to be like some kind of forum or like Anime News Network or like Anna Pike back in the day. Like I don't honestly, I don't remember how I got into Studio Ghibli films as like I think for me Princess Mononoke was like my starter, but I'm like shit at that point I don't even know how I got into it.
Yeah, that's what I think about. I don't even know how Mononoke came. Like, I think my brother might have done it, but then I don't even know because he doesn't really watch anime as much anymore. He stopped like when he hit college. But yeah, anyways. Yeah, that's all I really have to say about the Ghibli stuff. I mean, it was an okay movie. It was alright. It was alright. Star Wars fans, I'm with you on this one. It was alright. It was alright. Just kidding. It's like
the fuck if you did a Studio Ghibli ranking and you had that one TikTok trend where the guy just like you put the reactions.
Just kidding.
Yeah. It's all right. It's the goat. It's all right.
It's alright.
Perfect.
It's
no notes.
It's the goat. It's the motherfucking goat.
It's alright.
Yeah, no.
Absolute garbage. No, okay. I mean, this will segue, but like in terms of like I was talking about how like there's obviously a Studio Ghibli look, and so much like when AI started coming out, like with Midjourney. I feel like it was last year. I don't even know it because time feels so compressed. But like Midjourney and different AI generators, like yo, like I can just upload a photo or like whatever my different NFTs or avatars and just be like, yo, like yeah, just make this character boy with like Studio Ghibli like features, blah 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 blah, and it's like it'll get there, right? Like it, like because the work is so known, or like whatever the AI generator pulls, most of the time it is Midjourney, like a Midjourney based AI, but like it knows, right? It's so good at pulling references to create those AI images.
Mm-hmm. And what's crazy too is that all these there's so many different AI stuff now, like modules, like Dolly just came out too, or Dolly 3, I think, from OpenAI just came out recently. Obviously there's the whole thing with Stable Diffusion, which I think they're like a bunch of artists are going after people like Stable Diffusion, and I forgot what the company. And then yeah, and like, but what's crazy about that though is that I think people are kind of accepting the fact that there is probably like a market for AI art, and then I think what makes it hard for people to swallow is that if someone says, "Oh, this is my original art piece," right, and then they're like, "No," like that I would understand. Like I get that. I'm on board with that. Like, sure, that's not yours. Like, but then there's an artist I think in Europe, right, who is coining the term promptography, and like he had a gallery show with his photography and the promptography stuff. And then I think what he did was all the AI art, he made sure they were in a different frame compared to the photography. And so I guess for them, for people who want to see it, it was a little bit more acceptable because it's kind of like, well, this is what I did for 3 hours to generate this piece. And then like, I think the more people start to understand like the prompting side to everything, maybe it can have its niche, but I totally understand because I had a discussion about this with like a photographer, and he was like so upset about this shit. He's like, it's just numbers and data, like it doesn't have a soul and blah blah blah. I'm like, what do you mean doesn't have a soul? If you see an art piece, how the fuck do you know someone painted that with the soul? Like, do you go to a Murakami piece and like, that doesn't have a soul? He had his 300 assistants paint it. You know what I mean? I'm like, that doesn't necessarily mean it's the soul. So I mean, we kind of got into like a more philosophical version of art. And I'm like, man, people put meaning in an art. Like, I could see one of your photos right now. I'm just like, I don't give a fuck about it. Like, what does it mean to me? Like, if I see a like, but you know, I mean, but you know what I mean? Like, I'll look.
That's like a good diss. It's such a good like artistic diss. Your shit has no soul already, bro. This shit's whack.
It's like, you know, I always believe in the beauty is in the eye of the beholder, right? Like, yeah, you've heard me say this about Andy Warhol before. Like, I don't understand Andy Warhol at all. Like, I have to like read papers and art critiques and stuff like this to understand, to get where Andy Warhol is coming from. Like, I understand like Andy Warhol is the artist, like, and I totally understand. Like, I get it. It's cool. I love like consumerism art. But if I look at any of them, I would never buy any of them because I'm like, it's just not something I vibe with personally. For me, it just doesn't really have a soul. Understand. But then, like, yeah, he was just so upset about that. I'm like, well, it's not up to you to decide if things have a soul. It's up to the viewer, because that's who's looking at. That's who's going to be looking at it and judging it and critiquing it. Like, I've been to several art shows before, and I'll look at things. And I'm like, oh, am I supposed to feel something? I don't. I like it. I like it. You know what I mean? Like, I'll look at who is that? Yayoi Kusama, or what's her name?
Kusama.
Kusama, the one with all the dots, right? Like,
yeah, dots. Yeah.
Like, I don't understand it, but I fuck with it. I vibe with it. I think it's really sick. I would have one of those in my art or in my room, which like is one of my life goals, to have like one of her pieces on my wall. But then like I wouldn't have an Andy Warhol one just because I just don't fuck with it. But it doesn't mean like I don't get it. It's just like aesthetics, you know? Like it's up to you who you like it. It's like when people like anime versus the Scott Pilgrim show on Netflix right now. Just two different aesthetics.
No, so I feel you because I had the same feeling about Basquiat and Keith Haring. I know these are like icons of like the 80s, but I'm like,
I don't get them.
I don't know. I don't like this. This is a hot take, and I know I'll get shit on our socials. By the way, follow us on TikTok and like and subscribe while listening on our YouTube.
Mind you, this is just opinions.
Like, these are just opinions. Like I understand the artistic like expression of those artists of Keith Haring and Basquiat.
Come from a graffiti background and a social background.
It's like I'm just gonna keep looking at it and I'm like, I don't connect with it. I'm sorry, I don't connect with it. I don't
exactly, and that's totally fine. We're not saying they're bad artists. We're just saying like, hey, it's just not something we mess with, or it's just not something we vibe with. And sorry, just to bring it back to like the whole AI art thing, and I think there are people who mess around with AI art, and like obviously you can tell the flaws, the anatomy is off, some of the colors are weird, and blah blah blah. Fine, you know, whatever. I totally get that. There's so many imperfections in art and in AI art, which like I get it. Fair criticism. I stand with the whole thing where if someone does an AI generated piece and they say this is mine. Like I made this. It gets a little tricky for me, right? But if it's someone who like, insert Kaifu Lee graph here of a AI plus human, like I like that more. And I think what artists are doing right now are they're still trying to blur that line of what it means to be like an artist getting help from AI kind of thing. But yeah, promptography, The Verge did a video series on it, and I recommend if you guys want to dive into it. It's a pretty interesting take on it. It's a pretty interesting because they also do like a rebuttal video about the legal side of it, which is also a really good one too. So check it out. It's a really good piece to read or watch.
Well, I know the Difficult to Please podcast is basically the how does AI work for us, because I feel like we're the most pro AI fucking like motherfuckers, pro AI like artistic creative people. Like, yeah, AI is fucking great.
Yeah, I like it, but then I guess because because I always hear like the weirdest things about AI now, but I think it's because like I kind of God, how do you say the word again? Indoctorated. Fuck. I basically
I think it's to say different word at this point, bro.
Oh yeah, I know. Anyways, I pretty much like brought it to your attention.
Indoctrinated.
There you go. I knew I was missing
Sorry,
like
I had
another
to think about it too.
Because we talked about this in 2019 when I was so fascinated with like Kaifu Lee, OpenAI's AlphaGo, and like DeepMind's I forgot the other one they did, but basically the one about Go, the one about StarCraft, not Minecraft, but Dota. Like those are all interesting ass stories, or really really good, and like the lessons from those people where the point of it was to augment the person, to help you do better, to get rid of all your little tasks so you can focus on the bigger, higher stuff. And I think we'll eventually get there. It's just people are kind of abusing things as like, hey, generative AI is my original piece. Mm-hmm. And like, of course, that's going to like rattle feathers. But eventually, like, for example, I do a lot of like my coloring 3D now. I just slap on the thing and like add a sun or whatever the highlight points, and like the AI will color things for me, and it'll like clean up
it's so easy, y'all.
And it cleans up my line work like really quick. And when if I have to do it, I go back and I'll just edit the lines. Like, oh well, because it doesn't even do straight lines sometimes. So what AI does, like, it'll do a line and it goes and it'll just like make a weird fat line for no reason. So I'm like, okay, I'm just gonna come here and fix it. Then yeah. Anyways. So I understand from that promptographer's perspective, like why things can take a few hours, because it's not going to be perfect. And if you're an artist using AI, you'll know that for sure. And so you're going to go in there, you're going to like fix every single nook and cranny until it's the way you wanted it. And that's when I think the perfect blend of like AI and human come together. And it's not from generative AI, it's assisted AI, but I don't think anyone really understands what that is yet. Wow, that was a really long ass tangent. I'm sorry.
No, it kind of like it drives the point home. I think, especially when we continually talk about AI and how it helps us as like creative people. And I know like even for us are like, because we like, a side note, my wife Rona, she was talking to her friend, and just like in casual conversation, about hey, like we should. This is like got nothing to do with AI, but like, hey, maybe we're pretty like sassy and fun, and or like we're really like strong-willed and opinion. Maybe we should start a podcast, and maybe we should call it Pleasingly Difficult. I'm like, motherfucker. That's pleasantly difficult. I was like, what the fuck?
Did she like know it? Like,
no, because Rona's friend brought it up organically. Like her friend, she visited us in October, knows I do a podcast with you, but doesn't know the name, the title. But
Okay,
I was like, dude, babe,
you're doing this on purpose, aren't you?
This is fucking derivative. Anyways, no, but the point I was just trying to say is that, like, because we named this the Difficult to Please podcast back in 2017, is like we named it Difficult to Please because as creatives we have like our own kind of like
Standards,
unrealistic standards of like how things should be, how like we interact with our own creative efforts and society, and there's the whole fucking arc of our podcast. But like in terms of like where we at right now in this like block of stories, like AI has helped like us as creatives. I think for me it's like when Adobe started like doing that kind of like beta version a few years ago at their Adobe Max conference of like, this is the stuff we're working on. It was like generative, like being able to fix photos in Photoshop without you doing the extra like hours of like getting your presets right, or like having the advanced skill knowledge of like changing the color of someone's jersey or t-shirt. Like you can just do that more faster. And yeah, and it's up to you as a creative, like what bar you want to set to be like, this is more in line with what I'm looking for versus like something that's definitely AI derivative and generative. So like even now with the advances in like Adobe, like dude, it's cut my fucking work time. It's so fucking like in like half, maybe like 30-40%, if I'm really just kind of like going through the numbers. But like yeah, just like going through AI and it's mad helpful. And I understand like the haters gonna say like, oh, but like it's gonna take your job. I'm like, I don't think it's gonna come to that. I think
Scott Galloway said it best.
It's not drastic.
Yeah, I think Scott Galloway said it best, right? He's like, AI is not going to take your job. It's the guy who knows how to use AI is going to take your job. And like, I totally
bars.
What are you drinking, by the way? I didn't ask.
That's cool. So interestingly enough, when we flew to Montreal for my work conference, on the way back, we did duty free at the airport. And surprisingly enough,
you're not from Canada. That's right. Sorry, for a minute I thought
I've been flexing. I'm just doing Canada shit. You know, I'm saying get my poutine, smoke meat. Fucking vibes. No, but at the duty free store at the Montreal airport, they have maple whiskey that's not Crown, right? So it's just like small batch shit. I made sure this didn't have any like distro in the US, so this is only like distributed in Canada. So it's like a whiskey that's been infused or like home. It's just yeah. I don't know the fucking, it's like solitaire or something.
It's super French.
It's Canadian, not as much French, but yeah, Montreal cool as fuck because it is like France and it kind of humbles you, so it's cool.
I don't want to say anything mean because my Canadian friends tell me all these stories about Montreal or Quebec and all that stuff. But anyways, yeah, I won't say anything. I'll keep my mouth shut. No. That's like super hating. It's just Canadians hating other Canadians kind of thing. So it's just like
I feel I can see that because like just on like a cultural thing, because if everything is in French, you're like, oh shit, I'm in another mainly English speaking country. I haven't left the continent. I'm essentially like 2 hours from the state of New York. However, everyone here is speaking French. All the signs are in French. They'll speak English if you like start speaking English first, but like because it's like by law or whatever, you have to start in French and shit. But like, yeah, it's mad humbling. You're like, oh shit. You have to either get your weight up, you know what I'm saying?
Have you ever Okay, that's what I thought. I'm like, you traveled out of the country. What do you mean?
Yeah, but it's like my French is mad not good.
My French is limited to food.
Like you can just say I'm gonna do fromage every fucking everywhere.
Yeah, I learned this shit from Dexter's Lab. Omelette du fromage.
Omelette du fromage. Like I don't know. I've been watching Lupin on Netflix. That's like one of my favorite Netflix shows. But like I can't keep up. I mean, I can barely keep up. He's not. It's not Idris Elba, but it's a tall black
gentleman. I was thinking of Luther. Was it called Luther? Fuck, man. I hate shows. I don't watch anything anymore. I need to start watching stuff again. Anyways,
I barely watch, but go ahead. What's up?
No, I got something to drink. You know what? Let me grab it real quick. 2 seconds.
Do thing.
2 seconds right here, and I got it. It is. I've been really into mezcal lately, and this bottle was like hard for me to find. It is I'm not gonna use that with my Spanish accent, but Del Maguey Vida, the Del San Luis del Rio, and it's para todo mal mezcal y para todo bien también, which means for everything bad mezcal and to celebrate all good as well. This shit's good. I really love mezcal now. Like I hate tequila, but man, mezcal is so good.
Mezcal is the shit.
It is the shit.
I was like, it's like growing up because it's like growing up tequila. They're like it's the Scotch of what
it's Scotch of tequilas. 100%. Basically,
you're like, God damn, this is like classy shit. Mm-hmm. Even though I love it in a good Paloma, oh fuck, man, that's good shit right there.
I try not to drink this with like anything else. Like I just try to enjoy it because I'm like, when I'm drinking mezcal, I'm like, man, this is like drinking a like a really really fancy Scotch. So I was like, fuck, I gotta savor this shit. Only reason why I brought it up because like sometimes I still go out with like some homegirls, and like usually the thing I get is now is mezcal. They're like whiskey or mezcal, and everyone just looks at me like, yeah, you drink like an old person. I'm like, Anyway, that was a funny ass tangent. What were you talking about before?
No, we're just talking about AI and how it helps creatives. Yeah. I was gonna say one of the favorite like series, I don't know, of this year of like AI generated images was the like George Bush in at a punk rock show as a lead singer of a punk rock band, and then there was like other like world lead. I feel like I sent this to you, and it's just kind of like, what the fuck? It's like it's decent AI because it has that like it invokes I think because it goes along with the promptographer and the promptography how like there is kind of like if you put an AI generated image of like let's say like 90s like hardcore metal punk rock show, like if you just brought your disposable camera to those kind of shows, like, and if you got those like George Bush generative like fucking AI, you're like it actually like it's funny that it would almost like you can kind of see it happening as a reality, like as a possibility of reality, but you know it's not real because it's like it's just not. Would never think that or never thought that George Bush was fucking punk as fuck. So yeah, it's just like an interesting like look back because if you watch that promptography like series from The Verge, like because of those photos have a very set of like in Berlin Cold War era, and you have these AI generated images that kind of evoke that sense of place and time. You're like, damn, this could have actually been like somebody's like photograph. So it's like that's where I'm at with it. I'm just trying to close out my thought about that, talking about the AI pieces.
Damn.
Like, I mean, what was your favorite like AI stuff? I think I've sent you like the last year. Like
my favorite AI, to be honest, I'm not really that impressed with AI art stuff. I just think of it as a more creative thing. I'm like, oh, that's pretty cool. That's pretty
or like any
interesting.
meme.
But no, actually, one person I follow, I actually just brought this up right now. I just found out about them. They do short AI videos. So there's two projects actually. One of them is this one. He's a visual artist from Milan, and he does nothing but AI videos. But they are one of the most trippiest, but like aesthetically pleasing videos to watch. And it's always
is it like the Harry Potter one?
No, it'll be like people like it'll look like really thin, pale European like women and with like gas masks in their face like coming off. And it looks like I'm like watching Voldemort do weird things, and like all the backgrounds is like made out of like mushrooms and their circle, and if you have that tryptophobia whatever thing, it's gonna fucking like terrify you kind of shit. And they're only like 5 seconds long, and I'm just sitting there like, what the fuck? Like you could definitely tell it's all AI generated, right? But it's not the like the visuals that are so crazy. I guess it's more of like the idea behind it is so fascinating. It's like me watching a terrible movie but so fascinated by it because it's so like it grips your attention, like Kung Pao or Mortal Kombat, the first movie. It's just so bad that it's good kind of thing. But another thing I really liked was that
Mortal Kombat, the second movie, right? Did you mean the first movie or the second movie?
First movie. The second, don't worry about the second one.
No, the second movie was the worst one.
I know, but it wasn't so bad that it was good. The first one was so bad it was good.
Oh man.
You know what I mean?
Like, no, I just think about how like Johnny Cage was hype. Yeah, exactly. But also how like Johnny Cage was supposed to be Jean-Claude Van Damme, but like they couldn't get Jean-Claude Van Damme to play Johnny Cage, so they fucking killed him off in the first like scene and shit. And, like, what the fuck?
Damn. So there was I forget on Twitter I sent you, which I actually don't use anymore, but there was an artist who did a trailer video to one of his concept ideas, and that actually really, really inspired me because I think I've been experimenting with some videos lately, and I just use AI art to kind of like more bring out to tell the story rather than to make it the story. Like, let's say, just say an imaginary world, if I go up to somebody, I'm like, hey, I'm interested in the video series. Here's the kind of mood I'm looking for. Here's like a sample, like here's a prototype I kind of build up, and you do it your way because I want you to do it your way. But this is kind of like the sample the prototype I made, right? And in product design, it's called it's prototyping. And I'll tell you right now, like if you show a prototype to somebody, it's much easier for them to grasp the idea, to have it something concrete, than for them to make the decision. So, anyways,
100%.
Yeah. So for me, I love like using Midjourney as a prototype machine because it just helps me get the idea out. It gives a mood, it sets the story, and it tells it. And then, like, let's say that like some animator wants to do it one day. I'm like, hey, or if I have money to hire an animator one day, I'm like, hey, this is the prototype. Do you, boo boo? Because I want it your style, but here's a prototype. And so I think it's just another tool to the creative process in a way. So, and I think it should be used that way. Mm-hmm. Among other things too, but yeah. Boop, 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 boop. Sorry, I'm speaking about generative AI art. It should be more of a prototyping kind of thing. I think it's the most effective prototyping ever.
Well, I was thinking about how like the whole strike of like the writer's strike and the Screen Actors Guild strike was all like primarily they were striking because of like all this AI technology, and I don't know. I'll just kind
I know
of
it was an issue, but yeah.
That was an okay.
It is an issue.
It was an issue. Yes,
it is an issue. Yes.
I was just thinking about how like if that was the issue, and then like, but does that mean does the AI mean like how does even if we got to a point where AI like outperforms or even becomes like a big part of the like entertainment industry?
Okay.
Like, does that change the fact that like a lot, according to the internets and Rotten Tomatoes, a lot of the Marvel movies right now are ass? A lot of the MCU content is ass. I haven't stepped inside a movie theater, so that's my kind of caveat. I'm just putting it out there as a talking point. I'm like, was that? This is discussion.
Sure. So some criticisms about Marvel is if you've seen the Secret Wars, or is it Secret Invasion opening movie? It's all done by AI. It looks so bad, but I guess to me it kind of makes sense because it talks about the Skrulls blending into humanity. So there's always like these weird, I don't know, artistically creative, whatever you want to call it, AI generated blending of like Skrulls and humans. So I think for that sense, I kind of got it. I'm like, okay, I get it. It's terrible, but whatever. It's the fucking opening movie sequence. Like, I don't really care about that. It's just, I get what they're trying to go for, right? And then the other one was the critique about the Loki season 2 poster, where they could definitely tell it was an AI generated one because on one of the like someone zoomed in on one of the pictures in the Loki thing, and on the clock the numbers weren't correct. And I was like, oof.
Robots.
I'm like, oof.
Robots is yeah. They I don't know if listeners out there, viewers, whatever, it's always AI when the computer can't generate text, can't do fingers and hands.
Mm-hmm. That's hard.
And just like it's just like weird poses and shit. Like it's just like the angles of like actual like limbs and body parts. So it's like it looks weird and shit.
It's super weird. So there was another one too that was kind of like weird. Yeah, no, that's what I was like. It's not perfect. It's not gonna be perfect, and it shouldn't be your final draft. Except for that one about the space opera one or whatever, the one that the guy who won a contest, the fair, the photography fair or whatever, or the digital art. Like the theme was use digital art to create an art piece for the fair, and he won it because he just strictly used like AI.
Not familiar, sorry.
Oh shoot, I'll link you to the story sometime. But yeah, no, it was interesting because like no one knew it was an AI generated piece because it was still the technology was still new at the time. And he won it, and the piece looks beautiful. Like, trust me, it looks really, really good. But the guy was like, "Yeah, it's AI though," and people are like, "Oh, cheater!" I'm like, "Can you duplicate something? If you can, that'd be great. Just show me your prompt and your seeds and your blah blah blah, and see if you could generate the same damn shit." I'm like, process. So, but I honestly think like because people aren't so familiar with it, right? That it. I think we've talked about this. I have a feeling we've talked about this before. I've talked with the guy who really hated like AI stuff, but I've said that like I think we're just crossing like a new chasm of the creative world. And that applies to like data analytics and like writing and stuff like that and blah 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 blah. Like recently I just used ChatGPT to like draft me a villain that's a mix of Kefka from Final Fantasy VI and Sephiroth from Final Fantasy VII. Go. And then like it gave me some pretty like bad ideas and some pretty good ideas, but that's why I always ask him like draft me 10 so I can take those 10 ideas, take what I like from it, and then like combine it into one. Because right now I'm like I don't know how to write a villain right now for this certain character. So, and that was like my inspiration, like, oh, I want a Kefka and Sephiroth put together kind of thing. Anyways, that's what I'm saying. Draft assistance, not a clutch. As long as it's not a clutch, I think it's good. Fine to use. Period.
Well, because I feel like in the entertainment industry, in it just feels like because of Disney is like running their entertainment platform on like Star Wars and like MCU. That's like
oh yeah, that's right.
Everything
that's what we're talking about.
Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. It was just kind of. It just feels like I don't know if it's just like the because I honestly, even though like I haven't been inside a movie theater in like a long time, like I will still watch like if when it comes out to Disney Plus, but I'm like it's not as I guess like enticing or compelling content. Like the shit doesn't feel like
So,
and like, it just starts to feel like this doesn't make any sense. Like watching Scarlet Witch, the TV show, you're like, oh, this is cool. And then you like watch fucking Doctor Strange, you're like, what the fuck?
I didn't think that movie was that bad. I know a lot of people had a problem with Quantumania, and I could see it. But like my problem with that movie was more of they introduced like way too many characters, and they still try to make the story about Ant-Man, and it's like, no, you can't just introduce 20 important characters and like expect a coherent story. What the fuck? You can't do that. Like that's hard. Like I totally get that. But like Quantumania has its faults, sure. But like I wouldn't. All right, it feels like I'm defending Disney right now, but the thing I'm going to defend is like, man, I hate saying this. Okay, I think Bob Chapek is the reason why it's not doing well, because I think he was more worried about the churn aspect rather than the quality aspect, and it was always like dish it out, dish it out. I mean, I think there were some reports about how Marvel was just putting like people in there. They weren't putting their A team on every single project. They were just like one A team person would like create their own project kind of thing rather than, everyone together to do something really great. It's more about the churn rather than the quality. And I think we've noticed that with like some of Chapek's first few years at Disney, right? It was just show after show after show after show. It was kind of like fatigue, right? Because
oh yeah,
when Kevin Feige like announced like this is what whatever you call them, stage 6s and stage 7, I was like, that's 20 fucking shows plus like 6 movies, man. That's a lot. And like I agree, they should just tone it down a bit. But yeah, what do you? So wait, let me bring it back real quick. So the whole thing with the AI thing with the writer strike is, yeah, they are worried for it, and I think companies tried it out, but I think in the end, what's gonna win is the good artists, right? I think it's the good writers, the good artists, the really good blah blah blahs who are gonna like stand out from the rest, because if you think about it, like the AI can't be that creative, but it can like compile ideas together, but it will never be creative, right? So if you said like, oh, give me a Captain Marvel story about but this time she's a bit emo, like she went to a My Chemical Romance concert, like that's not gonna be fucking good, right? Like if Greta God, what's her name? The one that did the director of the Barbie movie,
Gerwig.
Thornburg. I almost said that.
Your brain was like, I felt it. I was, you're gonna say Thornburg.
Like, what was it?
You're like the fucking climate activist, bro.
Yeah, I'm like, she didn't do shit for movies. Anyways, like if someone tried to do a movie, like if she tried to do a Marvel movie, I guarantee it'd be 100 times better than any fucking. I mean, she did, right? She actually did the Marvel movie, didn't she? First Captain Marvel movie. I don't remember.
It looks like we have to look it up.
Oh fuck yeah! All right, this one I feel like I have to check this one. Marvel movie. I don't think it's Greta. Yeah.
No, I don't think.
That's what I thought.
No.
I don't know. That's what I thought.
No.
Anyways, yeah, like if she directed a movie and wrote a movie, I think it would be 100 million times better than anything an AI can write. Because it doesn't have soul, man. It doesn't get the feeling. I don't know. Just don't use it as clutch, man. And like Marvel fucked around, they found out that the shit sucked. That's what happened. You fuck around, you find out. And that's what happened to Marvel. They fucked around and they found out that they can't do good shit. I mean, they can do good shit, but like during that time period with like Chapek and whatnot, like they couldn't do good
like
shit.
There was a consistency. Like they kind of like they hit their ceiling, but they wanted more. Like, you just need to like dial it back and like let some just do few movies, less TV shows,
or even fewer TV shows. Fewer TV shows.
No, I feel you.
Fewer TV shows.
Yeah, I feel
like,
you.
What? Because like, WandaVision
There was the
She-Hulk,
Captain America one.
Captain America, and there was Loki. All came out within the same fucking year, and then like Hawkeye also came out. It's like
Hawkeye
that's
also
like
came out.
because I remember I was getting so like fatigued because it was like it was Marvel, it was Star Wars, it was Marvel, it was Star Wars, it was I was just like getting so tired. I'm like, dude, can I get a fucking rest from like watching these shows for a minute? Like, it's crazy. Like,
Yeah, they put it's like they put everything in production at the same time and to get that timeline.
It's like, bro, calm down. Let me Game of Thrones this shit, man. Let me think about it every week and then have like 6 months to agonize over it until the next season kind of thing. Which I didn't do with Game of Thrones, by the way. I watched all 7 seasons or whatever, every single episode of Game of Thrones in 1 week. Yeah.
It's fucking nuts. You're fucking nuts for that.
It's focus. Just don't sleep. You work, you sleep 2 hours, you watch Game of Thrones.
It's like,
The only reason why I said
you were.
What?
No, I was gonna say I think you were like employed at the time, or you took PTO.
I was employed. No. Like I was literally employed. Like I told my coworkers, like I'm gonna watch all Game of Thrones, and they're like, the last episode is this Saturday, is this Friday. I'm like, I'll start on Saturday. Fucking finish. I made it right up to the last episode. Like I was 1 episode behind, and then 20 minutes later, the final episode came out. Yeah, that shit was tight. I had no emotional connection to Game of Thrones. I was like,
I can see that. You're like, you just read it for what it is. You're like, oh, yeah, this is cool. I guess. Like, cool plot. Cool plot.
It's shocking, but I didn't have those 6 months to agonize over it, kind of thing, like every year. Anyways, God, there was something I wanted to say about that. Oh well, I forgot it. Oh, it kind of reminds me how I finished the Mario RPG in 1 day, in 1 sitting.
Jesus fucking Christ! On emulator or actual SNES?
No. It came out on the Switch a month ago, three weeks ago.
Oh shit! The remake.
Fuck. Yeah.
Oh shit!
And I finished it in 14 hours. Yep. And I did a final boss, and I did the secret bosses too. And I collected all the secret treasures also, and got everyone's ultimate weapon. And I finished that shit in 14 hours, 1 sitting. It was great. Anyways, that's what I mean. I get focused, man. If I do something, I stay focused for a really long time.
I'm still like processing. Like I didn't even realize it came out. Because I'm like the only reference I remember from like, because it was like back when emulators was hot, right? It was like middle school. I remember that one was a hard one. That was a hard ROM to find.
Yeah. I played it on Super Nintendo, you piece of shit. So that's where I played it.
Well, obviously, this is like broke boy, like immigrant shit.
Yeah, that's right.
I played
Nintendo.
Hell nah. I played I played the fucking Pokemon games on emulator.
Oof,
on my family PC. Nah, we didn't fucking do fucking Game Boys and shit. I bought my first Game Boy when I was like 8th grade. Based on fucking like lunch money. Anyways, but fucking, I was thinking like, man, I was thinking about that game and the fucking, what was the Mario game that was like you make beats to? Like you can like.
Oh my God! I remember it's the Mario Paint. Shit. Mario Paint.
My brain was like, it can't be Mario Paint because you were making music.
Yeah. I remember because you had to use the mouse that it came with to hit the do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do.
Yeah. No, I was just thinking about like, man, those are titles that like in the same vein of like how there's been like a DIY movement of like Game Boy camera like photography, which is like really interesting because it's like dot matrix type photography. It's really fucking weird and interesting. But yeah. But like Super Mario RPG, I was like, that's been a long time. I could never find that fucking ROM.
It's a really good game, especially when you fight the Final Fantasy boss. It's really fun.
Yeah.
Sorry,
do they ever?
What's up?
No, you're worried. Do they ever re-release the fucking Mickey Mouse game? the hard ass one for SNES? Or like basically, did they re-release any like retro '90s titles either on the Nintendo Shop
I can't think of
or like
anything because I'm
they're
still
like
traumatized over Aladdin and like Lion King. Those
they're
games
like
are
this
fucking
shit?
hard.
No, I swear the fucking Mickey Mouse one was hard. On ROM at least, but like yeah, all that shit, man. Like I was like, man, I feel like they just kind of said those games are really hard, so we're not gonna ever re-release them shits.
I know we're like going out, like we just somehow went to like a gaming tangent, but
That's what I'm saying. This is our podcast. We just kind of like go on tangents. This is kind of like what we do. This is kind of like what fucking fuels us and shit.
yeah, it is funny because we had other stuff planned, but then it's about AI and games now. So it's funny because I've been hearing like random critiques about games nowadays and how people are okay. So you know how Metal Gear Solid just came out, right? The trilogy pack.
Yes.
Okay.
So I was like, there's a new one. Could you mean new one?
Well, no, remember his name is off of it now. His name is off the new Snake Eater. But anyways, because they're remastering Snake Eater. Anyways, the first three they put it as a package right now, right? And what's crazy about it is that people were playing it, and then some people were kind of scared playing it because they're saying like, "Dude, I hate playing old video games." They're like, "Why?" Because like it's so much more harder than like games nowadays. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, you actually have to save. There's no autosave function for you, no anything like that. Like things are just hard in like those type of in like old school video games. Like if you fuck up, you fuck up, right? And like when they said
you can't
that,
go back. You can't
yeah,
go
you
back.
can't go back. And like I thought about it, and I was like, and I like somehow thought about Aladdin and Lion King on Super Nintendo. I was like, yeah, those games are fucking hard. Like I think I beat Scar once in my whole life. And like I just kept dying and fucking with the giraffes because if you jump on the giraffe as Simba, they would tilt their head and you just fall off and you drown in a river or some shit like that. And especially with the stampede scene, like you had to learn how to dodge that shit. If you didn't, you were dead. And if not, you had to go back in the beginning and start all over again. And same with fucking Aladdin. Aladdin was the same exact way.
Yeah, I remember.
I could never pass the stupid scene with the fucking lava and the magic carpet. I was like, God damn it, I'm never finishing this game ever again. Anyway,
there was a moment.
video games.
Yeah. I think it was not Mickey Mouse, but Lion King. I think we rented it for like a weekend on Genesis, and I don't think I got I couldn't get used to the mechanics or whatever. I didn't even get past fucking I Can't Wait to Be King, dude. Shit was hard to me.
Yeah. To this day, I've never beat Donkey Kong.
Yeah.
Oh, go ahead. Yeah.
No, I was saying it was so fucking hard. I just can't do it.
Yeah, to this day, I've never been Donkey Kong Country 2 because I thought it was just way too hard for me. There's some video games right now I play that are like really too hard, like Shin Megami Tensei 5. I've never beaten yet, and Persona 1 I've never beaten yet because they were mechanically too bad or it was just like a really fucking hard game. And like I like that. I like hard games, and I really appreciate it when hard games like make an entrance. Also, congratulations on Armored Core for winning Best Action Game of the Year. Yeah. Games.
Like I think Nier was hard. I only got through like
Nier was not hard at all.
Dude, I was like, because the storyline got me fucked up. I was like, yo, so I beat this boss. I go start to the beginning, and then what the fuck?
Oh man, I love Nier. I'm gonna replay Nier eventually. Nier is one of my favorite video games, not because of the gameplay, but because of the lore. I'm like, actually, okay, so check this out. I pulled up, I have my PS3, my PS4, and my PS5, like right in here, like within vicinity. And I said, I really want to play Xenogears again, right?
Fuck.
And because Xenoblade 3 came out, and they released, and they just like dropped some like big ass news shit about Xenosaga and potentially Xenogears, that it all might be canon within the same universe, right? Like we might be seeing the full perfect timeline of Xenogears And so, anyways, I'm
like
nerding out.
PS1 all the way up.
Okay, yeah. So here, let me just describe Xenogears real quick. Okay. After Xenogears was at the very ending of Xenogears, it was revealed to be episode 5. Like
Okay.
it says, so Xenogears. It said Xeno, like when Xenogears ended, it said episode 5, and then a year later they released something called The Perfect Works, and it talks about every single like they talked about the 4 Xenogear games that happened before it, and there's gonna be one more after. And then, but it just never got brought to light because that team ended up leaving Square Enix or SquareSoft at the time. Because remember Xenogears was originally supposed to be Final Fantasy VII. It was pitched to be the next Final Fantasy VII. Yeah, so some tidbit for you. Anyways, so after the whole thing with Xenoblade came out, and they're saying like they're mentioning the Philadelphia class airship or spacecraft, that's from Xenogears. That's from the very beginning movie of Xenogears. And they talked about the Vector Industries and Dimitri. That's from Xenosaga. So that kind of opened up like the big thing about nerds about like, oh shit, this all might be canon to like the whole Xeno Gears timeline. But so anyways, yeah, that's why I decided to pick it up again. So I had to like fucking brush up. I got my PS3. It now sounds like a jet. And then I had to go in the store and download Xenogears from PS1 Classics for $10 because I can't get that on PS4 or PS5 at all. It's just no longer there. It's only on the PS3. It fucking sucks.
Wait, they do that where you can only buy PS1, PS2 classics if you have a PS3?
PS1. Specifically, PS1 is only on the PS3. I cannot get it on anywhere else.
PlayStation Store.
Huh? Yes. I cannot get it. Yeah. It is a fucking trip. I'll tell you that right now. You could buy Suikoden. You can play Legend of Dragoon. I think Legend of Dragoon is the only thing you can get on PS5 right now. You can't even get back to the old Suikoden series anymore.
You have to get the PS3. Dragon Quest?
You on the PS3, yes. PS4 and 5, no. Only the newer ones.
Oh, also, so not even. I was like, the originals weren't. The original, like, I forget numbers of Dragon Quest was like on Super Nintendo, right?
Super Nintendo and PlayStation, et cetera, et cetera. So
yeah, I forget which ones. Yeah.
Actually, I kind of want to bring this up now. So this is the reason why I think digital copies are so hard, and why everyone should own physical copies, because Sony kind of fucked up, and now. Everyone who bought stuff from Sony, if they cannot license it anymore, they have the right to take it away. So even if you bought, let's say you bought the Spider-Man movie, and somehow Marvel was like, you know what, we don't want you to do this shit anymore. They have the right to take it off your digital catalog.
Yep.
So own your shit, people. Own your shit. Get the physical copy, because they can take that shit away from you in your terms of service.
Been saying this for years. I swear to God, if you really like something, you got to either rip it or fucking buy the fucking physical.
Yeah, baby.
God damn. I haven't seen those fucking PS2. God. I don't even know where my PS
on my 3DS. Like I can't get it. Nintendo's not going to do it on Switch. Ever. You can't get a ROM for it because there's no fucking ROM for that shit. Like, I have PS1 games, PS2 games. I never give them up yet. I cannot. I have movies. Like, I'm still trying to get Oppenheimer on Blu-ray. It's all sold out everywhere. Fucking crazy. And I have to buy myself a Blu-ray player now because my PS5 is digital only, and I'm trying to trade for it. Fuck. Anyways. Yeah. Own your shit, people. Remember that. Own your shit. And remember that AI is your assistant, not your clutch. Own your shit. That's what's up, everyone.
That's what's up. I mean, that's the podcast, basically.
Podcast, yeah. Wrap it up. What are you hyped about, Erwin?
Hyped about We probably have one more podcast episode left. Or if we're trying to make it work, we'll see.
Oh yeah, because you're trying to come down to San Diego, right?
Yeah, so the next possibly the next episode might be in person. Not a live show. We're not at that level. We're not selling tickets to no live goddamn live show. I feel like that's a good. I don't know. That's like a pivot for like everybody doing like podcasts. I'm like, yo, they got to start adding fucking live shows and shit, which is kind of weird in some cases when it's just kind of like that's not what their vibe is.
I guess it would depend, right? I guess it would depend. Like if you got, for example, for like Pivot does really good live podcast shows. I guess if you're in more established media, you're really good at having good live shows. Like the Verge one, the one with Linda Yaccarino, just eating it during a live thing. But anyways, yeah, damn.
Because like at this like moment of our like venture, I'm not even like I know we've been doing this for like six years now, almost 7, but like because this is like more like a personal project and it's kind of like our event. It's like it's hard to think of like people don't want to fucking see us and pay for us to see us. We don't crack jokes, dog. We just kind of like talk about the news and nerd culture and reminisce about some shit. And then
we're just two homies kicking it.
Yeah, just two homies kicking it. We just kind of like we would just honestly occupy a dark corner of like Tomcats or like pictures and shit. We just have our podcast.
Yeah, that's exactly really our scene. You will see us at pictures in that corner. Everyone's having trivia night, and we're in the corner just fucking talking about like shit that like Elon said that week or something like that.
Yeah,
are you guys gonna play? Like, no, we're just here to drink. What do you guys have microphones?
You got a podcast you want to jump on?
How do you feel about that interview? No? Okay, sick. All right. Next question.
Oh, man. No.
So next, potentially. Yeah, no, we can do a live show. Yeah, like thousands and thousands of listeners. Sure, that would be something different. But
yeah, that'd be like, I don't, it's so hard to think about like what that even looks like. Cause I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I need to expand and maybe we'll get there within the next, 24 months or whatever. I don't know. My brain is like, bro, you don't want, like, you just want to like almost 40-year-olds kicking it with you, talking about dumb shit, gaming and like nerd shit.
Yeah, you want to talk about sneakers? My niece just asked me about the Deftones CD. I was like, what the fuck? You listen to Deftones? That's crazy.
The fucking like meme. Whoa, what the fuck? Deftones? Holy shit.
Yeah, I dropped her off to school today, and she's like, "Uncle, do you listen to Deftones?" I'm like, "The fuck? You listen to Deftones?"
The fuck?
She's like, "Yeah, I've been listening to the Smiths lately." I'm like, "What the fuck? You listen to the Smiths?"
Smiths?
And then she was
like, "What the fuck is wrong with you?"
She's like, "What's the other band like that's kind of like the Smiths?" I'm like, "The Cure?" Like, I was so confused. I'm like, who am I talking to right now? I was like, did your dad get you an Incubus? Like, who are you? I'm dropping you in a Mesa Verde middle school right now. Who are you?
The fuck? Are you a pick-me teenager? Get your ass, get the fuck out of here.
And she was wearing like that Notorious B.I.G. shirt. She was wearing it's like Biggie with like, it's like 9 heads of Biggie and all in different colors, like an Andy Warhol kind of style thing.
Oh shit, bro! No, but Amelia has that same shirt actually.
Yeah. So my niece was wearing. I was like, "The fuck? You wearing a Biggie ass shirt? Who are you, man? Ooh, get this 90 ass fashion out of my face."
Oh, that's what I'm hype about. Actually, I know I talked about Target in our previous episode, but I'm actually hype about clothes from Costco. I know it's like the most anti, and it's a very like. Okay. Millennial meme online, but like we were just there like the other day just for like random shit, and like honestly, like I'm at a point where it's not the clothes for the value and the quality are actually not that bad. So like it's like $20 solid hoodie, pick a brand if it's like Puma or Adidas, whatever, or like in like $40 jeans or $30 jeans and like a $50 bubble jacket. It's like fucking like it's all affordable. It's from like decent shit and decent quality. It's like a step up above like the shit you see at Marshalls and like Ross, but like, bro, like
whatever, man. You're saying that because you have a family and a kid. That's why. So your expenses are elsewhere. You're trying to justify your lower expenses because you have Amelia to account for. Let's not fucking lie to ourselves.
Hey, bro, I'm still scrolling through Grail, Go, eBay. You know what I'm saying? I'm still trying to check my
Satchel,
shit out,
and Paige, fucking Fendi and Dragonite. I thought you were gonna mention that shit.
Yo, that is actually pretty high too. You can mention that, but yeah, the fucking Dragonite. There's a Pokemon collab with Fendi. There's a fucking satchel. Fire. There's a fucking luggage tag. There's a fucking leather plush of fucking Dragonite with the fucking Fendi scarf. It's fucking ridiculous. It's a fragment Pokemon and Fendi collab. This is like lugs shit. I don't know what the fuck is happening. I know it's a very contrast what I just said about Costco. It's a quality shit, whatever. But yo,
that is a collab I would be down with.
Holy shit, what the fuck?
I would definitely get a Dratini, anything Dratini. Like I don't know what it was. It was earrings or something like that. I was like, oh fuck, I would get those. Those are fucking sick. I would get, or even like the Dragonite like necklace or something. Like, oh, I'm getting that when I get a job. Right now, my expenses have been staying at home and eating cheeseburgers. And
well, I think the best collab of Pokemon, I think, has to be the fragment one, the like the black all black Pikachu and the Mew.
Yeah,
that's probably the
fragment's too good.
Best.
And we stand fragment a lot.
God damn it, we do. But was it the but there was something else Pokemon recently. Like, there was the Pokemon Clarks, but they don't look as, they just kind of look gimmicky.
They look really gimmicky. I mean, the one you were hyped about was the Powerpuff Girl Nikes.
Yeah,
and then the colorway like is whatever, but the concept is really sick.
It's I would like to see more of like that kind of like direction of, if they're gonna go Powerpuff Girls, like yeah, do more like Dexter's Lab, or like can I get a
Please do a Dexter's Lab shoe? Holy fuck,
or
I would wear
like
Dexter.
Because I feel like if you go Dexter's Lab, they're gonna do we're gonna do a DD one. Like no motherfucker, I don't want DD, dude.
Yeah, give me Dexter's colors, gang. Give me the black, the orange, the hint of tinted blue from his glasses, and the black. Give me that shit.
And the fucking and the purple gloves.
And the purple gloves, man. Give me that shit. Just give me small.
That's what I'm saying about like. Or like even like that's what I'm saying. Like I hope that this is a pathway, but I don't know if it's like too niche or whatever.
I think so. I think it might be too niche. Pokemon, no. Pokemon's way too universal now.
So that's why I would like to see Pokemon Nikes, but it's like no. I don't think it would happen. I think at this point.
You can do it. If Asics can do Marvel, I think Nike can do Pokemon 100%. I mean, come on, man. They had fucking MF Doom Nike shoes. They had that one movie that Gail worked on as a Nike Dunk. Like, Nike can make it happen. I'm hopeful. All right, let's see. What am I hyped about? Since you know,
what you hype about, man? No, I'm sorry. We're just talking. We're
just talking shoes. What I'm hyped about is I can't say that on thing, but
you can't say that publicly. It's all good.
There's one thing I can't say public. It's more about me. That's why. What am I hyped about? Let me think about video games.
See, it's hard, man. It's hard. Think about it.
I guess. Did I tell you, like, I'm actually considering going to Toronto?
No.
Oh, okay, yeah.
It's so weird, man. God damn.
I'm thinking about like getting jobs out in Toronto. One thing I'm really hyped about is like.
See, you're thinking about
it. I really don't know what I'm hyped about anymore. Like, I've been recently going through my closet and just kind of like filtering things out. I'm kind of marine condoing it, But at the same time, the more I do it, the more I'm like, I need to replace this one with something doper, which is not good. And like,
which is like, that's the current Marie Kondo philosophy.
yeah. And then like, it's like pre children Marie Kondo, because like post children Marie Kondo is like, fuck it, I can't do anything about this shit anymore. Actually, the one of the few things I've been actually really hyped about is like everything that's been popping up in San Diego lately. There's the Speakeasy Bakery sushi restaurant all in one. It's a trip, but it's really sick. And like the fact that like all these new restaurants are coming out in San Diego right now is pretty interesting. I wouldn't think about it because like maybe for the last 4 years I think like, oh, maybe we are in like a slowdown recession, but then like life seems so normal right now. And just things slightly are more expensive, but just life seems so normal right now. And then what else? I'm also hyped the fact that Raiders destroyed the Chargers 63 to 21 recently, and that was amazing because I would not expect that when they're especially 63-7. What the fuck happened? I think they just decided to put their third stringers in, so Chargers came up 21.
Listen, fuck this. We out. Let me go to Vegas. I'm gonna get the fucking. I'm out. This motherfucker. It's so bad. I didn't watch it. I was working last night. I have some projects that are on deadline, but I was like, I saw the score and I was like, this is not a real life, man.
Yeah, I saw Drew post it. That's why. So I was just like, our Andrew.
Yeah.
And then it was just so funny. I'm like, what the fuck? This has to be fake. And then I saw the actual score. I was like, yo, Chargers, that's what's up.
No, there was a sick highlight though. Like the Chargers backup quarterback was about to throw the ball, and then the Raiders like quarterback just kind of like got in the backfield and like Michael Jordan like one hand intercepted the fucking football and like ran in for the touchdown. I was like, that is the smoothest shit that's the smoothest interception I've fucking seen in my life. God damn.
Would you ever drive for merchandise? Like, would you go out of the city for merchandise?
Well, you gotta be yes. I think if you're asking on a general question, out of like an hour, let's say a 45-minute radius, yes.
What about 3 hours?
3 hours, like you go there for fried chicken,
but at the same time you buy like 100 different merchandise stuff.
No problem. Yeah.
Oh, okay, cool. All right.
Because I mean, like,
I don't think I've lost that.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Like,
I don't think I've lost that in me. Oh, go ahead. Sorry. You go first.
No, I was just saying how like if I didn't have a child, you know, like, and if we were still living in San Diego,
that's why.
Like, if we're living in San Diego, like, we used to fucking go to like Roscoe's for like no reason on a Tuesday.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Holy shit! I totally forgot about
like
that.
We would go to like Sprinkles on like a random Tuesday. We didn't have class. Let's go to Sprinkles and OC. Like,
that's so true.
You're like, oh, you want to do a day trip up to LA and get ice cream and shit? Cool, let's do it. Like, that's what I'm saying. It's like, yeah, if you are planning like half a day, yeah, no problem. And depends on, because it's like, if it's like 2 to 3 hour drive one way, that's not. I don't think that's an issue I wouldn't take. I think when you start like leaving state lines, you're like, I don't know, man.
I don't know, man. We also did like drive to Vegas.
We also did drive to Vegas. No, I've also done that too, where you just like, I'm just gonna go for like 12, 24 hours. Like,
yeah,
so that's
and I pass out at a bar. Anyways, it was tight.
It was almost tight. You almost died.
I almost died. I literally banged my head against like the wall. I could have had a concussion. That shit was tight.
No, but the question was like, for merchandise.
Like, do you still get in those spontaneous moods to like do crazy shit? Yes.
Yeah. Because it's like
that's never left you.
No.
Yeah.
No,
that's never left me too.
It's like having it's like the spontaneous need to, but it's also the like you have to logistically have that like, oh, I gotta bring the diaper bag, I gotta bring extra clothes, I gotta bring extra like to be a parent and be spontaneous is a little bit more effort. Yeah, it's a little bit more effort, but yeah, that shit still hasn't like it's happening a lot less, but it still hasn't left me.
Yeah. Okay. I didn't mean like I empathize with it. I could understand it, but that's why I'm just like, damn. Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, I probably, if I had a kid, I probably would not. I'd have to go through the same thing through. Anyways, that's all I wanted to ask. It's just the reason why I mentioned that is because I've just been learning how to fall back in love with like things I really, really enjoy. And so like sometimes when I hear stuff like, oh, this artist is doing this or this group is doing that or blah, 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 blah. Like I've been having those spontaneous needs to like say like, okay, let's do it, right? But then like I always wonder, I want to get like a perspective, like let's say it's from like you or Raph or Ray or anyone with a kid right now. Like I'm like, how is that for you guys? Because like I'm like constantly always thinking about that, about kids and stuff like that. Because that joke I sent to you about the whole internet thing, where it's like, all right, kids, one of you kids gotta get out. My Wi-Fi is getting fucked up right now, and I'm trying to game right now. So anyway, that's what I was like mentioning. Like I wonder how that's like for like parents. But anyways,
this is my perspective. But yeah.
Interesting.
I don't know. Okay. We push in 1 hour 30. Let's go ahead and wrap this up.
Anyways, that is episode 56. Like and subscribe on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Pocket Cast. I don't think Google has it anymore, so it might be just YouTube Music if you listen to it on there. Then, wherever you get mainstream podcasts. Erwin?
Follow us on our socials. Got difficult to please. We're really just on TikTok, but you know the fucking vibes is we. This I forgot to say in the beginning. This has been recorded on Friday, December 15th.
Oh shit! It's the 15th.
You will hear this in whenever you hear it before Christmas. Okay,
sweet. It's Christmas next week.
In 10 days. Monday is the 18th.
I'm gonna play some video games.
Hi, sick.
Yeah, hi, sick. ASMR. Okay. Anyways.
Strawberry. What the?
Strawberry. Give me the strawberry. Okay. Anyways, we'll talk about that joke next time. All right. Let's end it now.
All right.
Peace.
All right. Peace.